the bloodshed in Syria, Iran's nuclear program, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the world's most vexing problems, and the world's most powerful leaders have so far failed to solve them.
But this man says he has the answers to achieving world peace.
Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, a leading spiritual guru and founder of an international relief organization that aims to end world suffering and violence, told us how he would solve today's most complicated conflicts.
Syria, thousands of people dying there. How do you bring peace to Syria?
For the protesters, I would say there is a non-violent way of protesting. And for the government, I should say, you can't go along like this forever. We have to put sense into those people who are decision makers.
How do you put sense into Bashar al-Assad? What would you tell him?
You can't rule a country without winning the hearts of people. And guns are not the way to win the hearts of people.
But do you think he'd listen to you?
We need to keep making effort in this direction.
But what if people are dying? How do you do it now when there's no time to waste?
When all doors are shut, then the only option is, the military option.
A person like you, as a spiritual leader, would consider military action.
I believe in a non-violent, peaceful way of resolving things. It might take a little longer time.
How do you explain that to people whose loved ones are dying? How do you preach patience to them?
It's the most difficult task. It's an active engagement in service to those who are suffering.
Let's move on to Iran's nuclear program. They say it's for peaceful purposes. Western powers say it's not. Israel's talking about war. What would you do to solve that crisis?
My only vision is to see a violence-free, stress-free world. But the basic thing is an universal education in human values.
But these world leaders seemingly are educated.
They are ill-educated,
They're ill-educated.
Ill-educated.
Doesn't matter what degrees they have.
Yeah. Those who engage in senseless violence, I don't consider them educated.
The Israeli-Palestinian conflict, what many describe as the root cause of all the turmoil in this region. How do you solve that?
It needs a more humane approach, a more spiritual approach than a military or political approach.
Some people might say your suggestions sound good, but they're not practical solutions to these crises.
Without trying, you can't dismiss that something cannot work, and there is no harm in trying.
Will world leaders turn to Shankar's version of conflict resolution? Unlikely, perhaps, but the guru says he'll keep preaching that's the way to world peace. Reza Sayah, CNN, Islamabad.